International Widows Day, June 23rd. Kindly note that this is an awareness video only. Viewers are advised to verify the contents before using this information anywhere else. The United Nations observes 23rd June as International Widows Day to draw attention to the voices and experiences of widows and to galvanize the unique support that they need. Let us see some key information about widows, their problems and sufferings, and the solutions. There are an estimated 258 million widows around the world, and nearly 1 in 10 live in extreme poverty. In some parts of Eastern Democratic Republic of the Congo, it is reported that around 50% of women are widows. In Mozambique, around 60% of adult women are widows. In Rwanda, it has been suggested that as many as 70% of all children are dependent on widowed mothers. India has the largest recorded number of widows in the world, 33 million widows. Some widows are young and middle-aged who suffer the most. What are the problems faced by widows all over the world? The loss of a partner is devastating. For many women around the world, especially in developing countries, that loss is magnified by a long-term struggle for their basic needs, their human rights and dignity. Widows are often denied inheritance rights, have their property grabbed after the death of a partner, and face extreme stigma and discrimination. Worldwide, women are much less likely to have access to old age pensions than men, so the death of a spouse can lead to destitution for older women. Widows are coerced into participating in harmful and degrading traditional practices as part of burial and mourning rites. Most of the widows are in poverty, face violence, and have health issues. Widows, if they do remarry, rarely do so of their own free will. In some communities, widows may be forced into new conjugal relations with a male relative or be forbidden to remarry even if they wish to do so. As a result, many women may spend a long period of their lives in widowhood with all its associated disadvantages and stigmas. Widowed mothers, as sole supporters of their offspring, are forced to withdraw their children from school and to rely on their labor. The daughters of widows may suffer multiple deprivations, increasing their vulnerability to abuse. The monetary value of widows' pensions is a continuing source of grievance, since the value often does not keep up with fluctuations in the ever-changing cost of living indices or with the expectations that the older generation may have had of what life would be like in retirement. Further, a widow upon remarriage may be required to relinquish custody of her children as well as any property rights she may have. Child marriages lead to early widowhood. Polygamy enables the second wife to be brought into marriage when the first wife is considered too old for sex or childbearing poor. When a man has many wives and dies, he leaves many widows and offspring struggling for their lives. Somewhere, homeless widows make up a sizable percentage of women marketed as domestic servants, forced to leave their children behind in the hope that the meager income which they send home will be used to feed, clothe, and educate them. Widowed mothers' children suffer malnutrition, ill health, and depression, which in many cases leads to suicide. Unskilled widows' coping strategies involve exploitative informal sector work, putting children into child labor and begging. In some cultures, widows used to wear black for the rest of their lives to signify their mourning. The problems identified by these widows in order of priority include financial economic hardship, absence of husband's will resulting in the loss of properties to husband's relations, loneliness and depression, poor relationship with the in-laws, difficulty in social interaction, and poor housing. Many of these abuses go unnoticed, even normalized. One of the key causes for the sufferings is gender inequality. In many places, girls are denied education and forced into early marriage. There is poor women representation in parliaments, and there are discriminating laws and social norms against women. Let us listen to the voices of few widows here. We are considered bad omens. We are excluded from all auspicious events, says Lakshmi from Rajasthan, India. I am accused of being a witch who killed her husband, speaks Tara Sinha from Mozambique. We have no shelter. My children can no longer go to school, tells Ishrat from Bangladesh. We are treated like animals just because we are widows, grieves Angela from Nigeria. I and my children were kicked out of the house and beaten by brothers-in-law, cries Siodi from Malawi. As soon as my husband had died, they took everything away, even the pots, blanket, and sacks of maize, weaves. Rinana from Gujarat, India. My husband died of AIDS and slept with many women. I am now dying, but his family blames me for his death, says worried Isabel from Kenya. So, what are the solutions for their grievances? It can be said that there is no group more affected by the sin of omission than widows. They are painfully absent from the statistics of many developing countries, and they are rarely mentioned in the multitude of reports on women's poverty, development, health, or human rights published in the last 25 years. Every country must carry out detailed research to document data on widows, their problems and grievances, and must address them sincerely. Governments must initiate actions towards achieving full rights and recognition for widows. This includes providing them with information on access to a fair share of their inheritance, land and productive resources, pensions, and social protection that are not based on marital status alone, decent work and equal pay, and education and training opportunities. Empowering widows to support themselves and their families also means addressing social stigmas that create exclusion and discriminatory or harmful practices. Governments should take action to uphold their commitments to ensure the rights of widows. Even when national laws exist to protect the rights of widows, weaknesses in the judicial systems of many states compromise how widows' rights are defended in practice and should be addressed. Lack of awareness and discrimination by judicial officials can cause widows to avoid turning to the justice system to seek reparations, and this should also be eliminated. Governments should give preference to widows in land distribution schemes, make compulsory registration of marriages, take positive actions and incentive schemes to keep the children of widows in school, encouragement of female education, enhancement of women economic empowerment, improving availability and effective utilization of family planning services, and encouraging men to write their wills early in the marriage. Also through advocacy and public health awareness campaigns to enlighten the masses about the plight of the widows, reserve women representation in politics, parliaments and legislatures. As individuals, we treat them with humanity and ensure their human rights are abided by. More awareness brings better life for the widows. If you like this video and want to view more such useful videos, kindly subscribe to my channel.